Okay, string tension. So this is not the most exciting topic, and I know when you're learning things, you want to kind of get on with it. I want to quickly get through trapeze, get through rudder, do double or nothing, do the 1.5 mount. Okay, I got all the mounts sorted. Let's start making tricks. But in order to do that, you need to be able to do all the basics. Really basics are how to throw, because you need to throw every single time you do a trick. How to bind, because you need to do a bind every time you end the trick. String tension is another one. Every time you're doing a trick, you apply string tension, and you want to learn how to get rid of it. There's nothing too bad actually about just throwing the yo-yo down, letting it off your finger, turning it around, let the string twirl around, do one smoothing motion, okay? String tension is neutral, and off you go. But watch what happens is, to do that, you're having to take it off your finger, having to retighten it. In my case, it's not as bad. Oops, it's not as bad because you can just flick it on, give it a twirl, and off you go. But in your case right now, you're having to wind up the string, and this is just taking a while. So worst case scenario, imagine your string tension is getting really bad and you're trying to show someone a trick. They're like, hey man, look, I learned this trick, it's called double or nothing. This is the first dismount, this is the second dismount, and this is the third dismount. Oh, 1 second. And then you're having to take off this and then do the string tension, and then you have to go, give me 1 second, let me show you what else I've learned. It's not so flashy. So two things that's going to really help you speed up your practice is to get rid of string tension without taking the finger out, the string off your finger, and having to be able to wind up the yo-yo without actually winding up the yo-yo. So how to wind up a yo-yo, we'll learn next time, but let's start with string tension. The string tension, why is it bad? So the way string is made is two pieces of string that's entwined around each other, and then depending on when you throw, you might end up loosening the string, so you end up loosening, or you might end up tightening that and going, and then you can see as I tighten the string starts coiling around each other. And when you have string tension, whether it's loosening or tightening, it's going to make your yo-yo just that much more difficult. So especially if you're struggling right now with some tricks, having a good string tension is actually going to make it easy for you. So why make a difficult game even more difficult on yourself than it needs to be? So, for example, if you have good string tension, the strings will stay taut, it will stay in the middle, and it's not going to kind of start trying to fight you. It's going to just be doing what you want it to do, instead of every time there's a little bit of slack, it starts trying to like wrap itself around. And that is also going to start rubbing on the side of yo-yo. It's going to slow the yo-yo down, it might snag on you. And then later when you start doing tricks where it's using the slack. So let's see. This is a trapeze and its brother that you'll know soon. And just flipping it around, that's trapeze and its brother slack. Imagine if I did the same thing with really bad string tension. So that string tension could be worse. Okay. So we've got really bad string tension, and we just try to do a very simple slack. Like this. Like this. Do you see how the string is now coiling around, and then to catch it, so all you're trying to do is to have it go around and catch. Oh, actually that wasn't too bad. But I did it quite fast, but imagine if I did it really slowly. It's kind of curling around each other, so it's not that nice open loop. Another thing is, for example, if you're trying to do a hook, that's a hook. That same trick is made infinitely. Do you see how the string is starting to coil around each other as you're whipping that around, and it's kind of like snagging on each other, on itself. So string tension is literally, there's some tricks that's just going to make it infinitely more difficult. Even with a good string tension, this is not necessarily an easy trick to learn when you're first starting. And with this bad string tension, so even like little things like this is called a plastic whip, where we're just trying to whip that on there. Whip it back, and then now when I dropped it, do you see how it's it wants to bind? With a good string tension, let's start. With a good string tension. To be honest, I do use plastic whip quite a lot to do a bind, one-handed binds, but just dropping it shouldn't make you want to bind. But what's happening is, as you're dropping it, you're creating a bit of slack, and then the string starts coiling around each other, and because it's not, instead of a straight line, it's all like this, it's starting to rub on the response pad, and it's snagging and it's binding. But if you just, with a good string tension, if you did a plastic whip and just dropped it, it should just drop straight down. It's only when you want to activate that to bind, then it should bind. So it's one of the things that's really might be quite difficult to show, but once you actually start playing with it, you just realize that bad string tension is just so frustrating, and it is the killer of learning tricks. Right now, this itself is difficult enough. You don't need to make it more difficult with all this, right? So how do we fix string tension? So easiest way, take it off your finger. That we already know. But what if you want to just fix it on the fly? So firstly, you need to know which way the string tension is messing up. So for example, every time you throw, just throwing, you're tightening the string half a rotation. Just because it comes out this way, and then it comes back the opposite way, it comes out this way, it comes out the opposite way, and you're like twisting it, you're making it tighter. And almost every trick you do as a right-handed player is going to make the string tension tighter and tighter. So kind of, at the beginning, 90% of the time, you only need to unwind the string, you make it looser. So fortunately, the easiest way to correct string tension is the way to make it looser. So you don't really need to know too much about it, but you still need to know which way is string tension messing up, because as you're adjusting your string tension, you could either not adjust it enough or adjust it too much. You need to be able to just look at it and go, okay, I need to adjust it more, or I need to adjust it less. And later on, you would start doing tricks where it actually ends up loosening the string tension. I think, for example, Jade Whip loosens the string tension. There's some tricks, I just don't know which ones tighten and which ones loosen, because the vast majority of tricks tightens the string. So, but you want to know. So when you look down, what you do is you throw the yo-yo down, pinch near the yo-yo, and if you bring the strings together, it should start curling in one direction. So right now mine is curling clockwise. If it's clockwise, it means the string tension on my yo-yo is a little bit too loose. It's still curling clockwise. And now it's about neutral. See? You can also do this side style as well, actually. It doesn't really matter which style you do it. You just need to put the string together and check, and you want it to be as neutral as possible. If you put it down, let me try and make the string tension intentionally bad. So, if you put it down, and then the string starts wrapping around counterclockwise, this is what will normally happen. This is when the string tension is too tight. And how you fix it, it's relatively simple. I'll show you from this angle. So you throw it down this way. You want to hop up into this, but if you don't know how to do that yet, the same thing is if you go take the strings to the front, wrap it around. You need to be careful because this is the same mount as the bind. So you might end up binding that yo-yo by mistake. Whereas this way, you're pulling it up so it's less likely to snag. So how do you overcome this when you're doing it in this way without hopping up? So you want to do it so that you want to be near the base of the yo-yo and then wrap it round and then bring both hands up, the non-throw hand up until it's about the same distance. You're keeping the string that's attached to your throw hand finger and you want to grab the front string and then the middle string should be stacked like this. And then you take this and then you pull. Oops. Okay, so let's get back to this. Here's what it's done. Like this, up, the end strings, you grab, and then you pull, and then this should start rotating around. Okay, now this time I actually undid it so much that strings actually come off the yo-yo, which sometimes happens when you practice, which is fine. Just make sure the yo-yo doesn't go flying. So I'll show you what it should look like from your point of view. Let me just tighten this back up a bit. Oops. Okay, so what it should look like is end one, the front one, and then pull. Oops, I did a bit too much again. But you get the idea. All you're trying to do is, you shouldn't pull so hard. It's kind of like, you play around with it. There's that sweet spot where it's gentle enough. I've actually completely killed this string, I think. Where it's gentle enough so that it starts rotating. But when there's not enough pressure, it won't. It's quite simple. Just keep pulling until it starts rotating and then stop when it stops rotating. There's just a perfect median, then you'll find it. Oops. So, okay, let me try and put string tension in the opposite way. So, intentionally. Oops. So that I can show you for a bit longer. Okay, so now my string tension should be way too tight. Let's do it a couple more times. I think I might have actually killed the string. So another thing while I'm at it is you want to adjust your string tension often and keep it as neutral as possible, because the string being wound too tightly or wound too loose against what it naturally wants to do at its resting place, it's going to start breaking down the fibers of the string, and you'll ruin your string much faster than it needs to be. So right now, this string is looking pretty tight. Grab both strings, this, pull to the side until it's about in the middle of the cup. So you want to pull until it's about in the middle of the cup and then rotate round. And that's pretty much it. And that is the easiest way to remove your string tension. Another way that people use quite a lot, which is actually a lot simpler, but when you're first beginning, this is probably going to cause you a lot more headache or difficulty trying to learn, get down, than the one I just showed you. It's, you pull, you hold the yo-yo about here, and then you jump it, you hop it, and then bring your hand with the string. So as you're hopping and jumping, you'll bring your hand with the string up to about where the middle of the cup is, and it will start rotating around it. So you want to do it this way, and then your hand should be about, like, out on the side. Or yeah, it'll make it a lot easier. So it'll be like this, And then you want to have it going this way if you want to tighten the string tension. So if you see the strings curling clockwise, then you do it this way. And then if you see the string curling anti-clockwise, which is what would normally happen, you want to do it this way. I'm not sure if you can see out. Maybe none of that was in the shot, so let me try and do it again for you properly. So, I can't really do it very well when it's too high, but it should be like this. Like this. This is to loosen. This is to tighten. Exact same thing if you want to do it while you're on side mount. Let me try and bring it up so you can see it. This way or this way. Oops. It's quite difficult trying to do that quite high up actually. But try and practice. Just like this or just like this. You're basically kind of throwing the yo-yo forward a bit while pulling back with the string. Try to give that a go. Cheers. Okay, one quick thing. So I think when I was doing in the video, I realized I haven't shown you how much time I would normally do it for. So I was trying to do it for quite a long time to show you it spinning around and around where your hand placement needs to be. And then I realized I haven't actually shown you how long I would normally do it for. Obviously it's until the string tension is gone, but you don't want to do it for so long. So basically the idea is you want to do it a little bit of time. Otherwise, you know, you had the yo-yo flying out earlier. That's what you get, and you should never really get that. So just a little bit of time. About that is all you need, really. About 1 to those. Let's have a look. So now my string tension is really loose because this is really all you need to do. Just a little bit of time. It depends on what your string tension is, but yeah, I just wanted to quickly show you that.